Okay, so now that we have edited all of our pictures, you've cropped them, you've done any light and color changes, they look the best that they can, and you're proud of each and every one, we are going to export them. So this is a way that we are going to be saving our pictures. What's nice about Lightroom that pictures that are put in there kind of live in Lightroom. Whatever changes you make really only exist in Lightroom until you export. Okay, so export is another way of kind of saving. So you'll still have your original files, but then you'll have a new file of each picture that has all of the edits you did. So let's say later on you're like, oh man, I wish I would have, turned this picture into black and white. It's okay. You still have your original that you can bring into Lightroom, change it, do whatever you need to, and then you'll have an additional file to work with. So that's one way that Lightroom is different than Photoshop. Photoshop changes the original file unless you keep making copy after copy after copy. But with Lightroom, things kind of live within the program. So we're going to export all of your pictures all at once. And it's a really cool process that Lightroom does and just kind of streamlines everything because we're all about streamlining and making things as simple and as easy to do as possible. There will be a handout that kind of has screenshots that shows you step by step of how to do this as well. So you'll have that as reference. So on the very bottom in the left-hand corner, you remember there are little icons here where you can see, different views. Okay. So we're going to go to the view where you see all of your photos. Okay. And we're going to select them all. Okay. Honestly, it's better to turn in all the pictures you're edited than to try to pick and choose which ones. As the more pictures you turn in, you do get, those extra points for going kind of above and beyond the basic requirements. Okay, so I'm going to have all my pictures. I'm going to export all of them. So I have 16 here, so I'm going to select them all. Okay, so quickest way to select is you do Command A on your keyboard, Command A, and you can see this white outline shows up on every picture. So that's just selecting them all. Command A on your keyboard selects all your pictures. Okay, and then we're going to go up to the top. Okay. Where we have our menu, okay, and we're going to click File, Export, File, Export, okay, and that brings you to this other screen, okay. So it kind of, goes back to this view, which is totally fine. We're really going to be dealing with the settings on the right-hand side, okay. So once you do this one time, Lightroom's going to remember it. So you really only have to do this once, and then from there, you'll only have to change like one thing. So image type, okay, you want it to be a JPEG. For dimensions, you want it to be full size. Okay, this means that it's going to be the biggest picture possible. So later on, if we print these, we're able to print them as a nice size. For quality, 100%, so that we have the best quality possible. Okay. This next section you can ignore. So all metadata, that's all good. And then for file naming system, so this is the part that's going to be important. Okay. It defaults to original. Okay, so whatever your picture was originally named, that IMG underscore random number, okay, we don't want that. Okay? You're going to do a custom name. And that allows you to give it a name and have it all numbered. So when we name this, it's going to be your last name and then the project. So I have patch composition, okay? Because later on, if I decide to download your pictures to print them out, we have a lot of art shows that are coming up throughout the year. If I want to put them on display in the hallways, I know whose picture is whose, okay? Because your name is going to be attached to the image file. Okay, so it's going to be your last name, then the project, and then the start number is going to be 1. And what this does is every picture is going to be labeled the same thing, but the only thing that's going to change is the number. So it'll be patch composition 1, patch composition 2, patch composition 3, so on and so forth. Okay, so it kind of does that to all of your pictures that you selected to export all at once. Okay. The output sharpening and color space, ignore that. That does not matter. All we care about is the custom name and then the basic settings. So when you have that all done, in the upper right hand corner, you'll hit export number photos. Okay. And this window is going to pop up. Okay. You need to make sure that you know where you are saving your pictures. Okay? The computer automatically wants to save it someplace in Lightroom. Where that is, who knows? Okay? But what you're going to do is on the right or the left-hand side, you're going to click on desktop. You're going to find the folder with your name. You'll then go into the project. And then you're going to make a new folder. So down here we have new folder called edited. Edited. All right, so that's going to be important. Create. So now all these pictures that you've edited are going to live in this folder. So now I can go ahead and click export, and it's going to do its thing. It's going to it's going to think, it's going to do some stuff. And now if I were to go into my composition, edited, I have all of my pictures in here that I just edited. And you can see that they are all nicely named and numbered. Okay, so everything is going to live in here. Okay, so super nice and easy. Okay, so that's how exporting your pictures go. So very streamlined, super quick, nothing too crazy or outlandish with that. So now that you have saved all of your pictures, they've all been exported, they're all labeled properly, you will be able to upload them to Google Classroom. So, and all of this you're going to be doing on the computer, okay? Because your pictures right now are on the computer, and it's just way easier to do it this way. Okay, so I've got Classroom opened up, I'm in our class, click on classwork, we'll go into the project. Okay, so composition was the one that I just did. I can click on view instructions. So on the right-hand side is a section called your work. So this is where you'll be adding your pictures. So you've already done this once when you were uploading your contact sheets. Okay, if you accidentally turned in your contact sheets, I did return them to you, so you'll see that it just says assigned, so you'll be able to add more stuff to it. So same thing as before, add or create, file, okay. And best way to do it is to have that folder opened up, that edited folder where all of your pictures live, select them all, so Command A, selects them all, click, drag, and drop. And it's just going to upload all the pictures. It will take a little bit of time because some of the files might be a little bit bigger than others. Some of you might have more pictures that you're adding. So you just, sit patiently. When it's done, the screen will go away. Kind of want to follow along. You can scroll down and see it all do its thing. But all your pictures will get uploaded, and then they'll be able to get graded. And you can see my file sizes vary. So like this one down here is 10.2 megabytes. So that's probably one where I did a little bit more editing on it. Others are smaller, so I might not have done as much as far as changing. So it's just something to notice. Almost done, almost done. And we did it. All right. So you should see now under your work, all of your pictures, okay? Plus your contact sheet. Your contact sheet should still be in there, okay? So when you're done and you have all of your pictures uploaded, click the Turn In button and then turn in. And that is going to submit it. That is going to let me know that I can go ahead and grade. Very, very important that you hit Turn In. If you happen to turn in a project late, this is the only way I will know that you turned in a project late. Okay. It is very tedious to go into every student's Google Classroom to try to see and hope that a project was turned in, and then be disappointed that nothing was turned in. By clicking in Turned In, that lets me know that you indeed turned it in, and I can go in and grade it. Okay? So you'll see when you go back into kind of your work, the classwork, it will say Turned In, and that's how you know. Okay? So that's it for turning in our digital projects. I did mention rubrics at one point. If you want to peruse the rubric, it is attached to the project. And this is just our standard rubric that we have. So looking at image quality, as far as your subject matter, the focus, your composition, and then looking at editing, so the value, so that dark and light, color, then craftsmanship, so that's that editing quality. Okay, so you can definitely read through and kind of see the ranges. Then there's assignment requirements. So each assignment has specific requirements. So if we're shooting composition, I expect to see, the different compositions coming into play. For abstract forms, I should be seeing that use of light with shadows, with how you're using that flashlight. And then number of images submitted. So this is that, where you can get a few extra points. So basic is 7 out of 10 points. So that means you just met the baseline. Okay? If 10 pictures are required, you just submitted 10. So you get the 7 points. But if you go above and beyond and you do high quality editing and you have higher quality images that you're submitting, you do get a few more points. So something to definitely consider. So that's turn in our stuff.